everyone, and welcome to your quick tutorial on the press up. My name is Yasmin Say. I'm founder and owner of Say Fitness Personal Training. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I hope you enjoy this video. So the press up is a really popular upper body exercise, and hopefully this tutorial is going to show you how to really nail that strong press up technique. Now, there are two common errors that I see in the press up. The first is lack of core engagement, and the second is improper positioning of the arms. So let's take the arm positioning first of all. What I usually see is where people place the arms, whether they're shoulder width apart or slightly wider for a wider press up, is that the elbows tend to flare out to the sides. And you can see that there's a lot of weight dumping into my shoulders and into my wrists. The second common error that I see is lack of core engagement. Now, your rectus abdominis, your front abdominals here, or your six-pack abdominals if you like, are attached from the ribs to the hips, so this abdominal wall area. And if this is not engaged sufficiently, then again, you could be going into the lower back and unable to keep and maintain that strong press-up technique. So what I mean by that is, and how it can look, is the hips start to rise up towards the ceiling or in the opposite direction, which I'll show in a moment. When you come into your press up, you can see that dip in my lower back. So I'm not connecting my abdominals sufficiently to sustain that strong press up technique. It can also work the other way. So if we come into the full press up on our toes, what I often see is a lot of weight dumping into the arms, and then the hips start to sink. And that again is lack of my core, and unless I have super strong arms, I'm unable to sustain that really strong press up. So how do we rectify both of those issues? Well, it's all in the setup of your press up. If you have a strong foundation for the press up, you can go ahead and nail 100 press ups if you so wish. So let's start with the arm positioning. The hands are going to go slightly wider than shoulder width apart here. So almost to the edges of my mat. I'm going to spread my fingers wide, root down into the mat here. Now, what I mentioned earlier about that lack of subscapular control and also that lack of shoulder engagement and lat engagement. So I want my arms to move through that fluid protraction and retraction to come into my nice strong press up. So the downward phase and the upward phase of the press up. In order to do that, I've got to make sure that my lats are engaged and all my scapular stabilizers. So if I just show you where my arms would be on the mat here, I want to externally rotate those shoulders. That engages my lat muscles here. So what I want you to imagine is you've got like almost tennis balls stuck underneath your armpits, and you have to keep them in position. So that external rotation, and now if I place my arms in that right position here, my elbows can only go in one direction, and that is behind me, slightly at a diagonal, but behind me. So how it was before when I was explaining one of those common errors, the elbows go out to the sides. Here, I screw my hands into the floor, externally rotate, and really make sure I'm squeezing into those tennis balls in the armpits, and that's where the elbows need to go. And then core engagement, super important to sustain that strong press up. So with my hands and shoulders in that correct position now I need to worry about engaging my core. So my knees are slightly further back from my hips as I'm in this 3/4 plank position. My feet are relaxed on the floor here, legs are engaged. Now, not here. We need a slight posterior tilt of the pelvis. So you can see me tucking my tailbone slightly under and engaging my glutes. That has now connected hips to ribs, my abdominal wall. And that's what I need once I've engaged into my shoulders, drawn the shoulder blades down the back body, tucking the tailbone under, chin slightly tucked to lengthen the back of the neck. Now I've got that nice neutral spine position. I inhale as I lower, exhale as I push. With the breathing, I want you to think exhale on the exertion. So exhale on the push, the harder part of the exercise, lowering down, and then pushing away. Once you've nailed that 3/4 plank position, then you can take this into any variation of the press up. So let's say you were finding that relatively easy and you wanted to progress onto your toes. That's fine, because now you've got that scapular control, now you've got that core control. You extend one leg, other leg, again, slightly tucking under here, connect those abdominals, chin tucked slightly, inhaling and then exhaling. You've got that nice strong scapular control. You're moving through protraction and retraction all the way and focusing on your breathing at the same time. Well, I hope that tutorial was useful for you in helping you really understand the foundations of the press up technique, which hopefully can set you up perfectly for progressing that press up into whatever variation you like. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel, and I look forward to seeing you on the mat soon.